together to ensure that no one was left behind in their village, in their hamlets. So instead of planning at the district level or at the block level or at the panchayat level, we went down to the village and to the hamlet level. Next, please. And this is the result. As you can see from the slide, we saw significant improvement in supplementary nutrition, Anganwadi centers infrastructure, reduction in the number of SAM and MAM children, and also in terms of ensuring 100% hypertension and diabetes screening. Next, please. In terms of education, as I mentioned briefly earlier, setting up of smart classes, online classes for those subjects where subject-specific teachers were not available and we were running short of time, so we had to devise quick interventions. So that was one of the important intervention. Apart from that, we also ensured that there was sufficient focus on the education of girl children. So by ensuring separate functional toilets for them, by ensuring availability of menstrual hygiene lab at all the schools and all the hostels, this was achieved, and we can see the result. Next slide, please. Where there was increase in the number of girls' toilet from 60% to 99%, and it also directly correlated with their performance in examinations and their retention and transition rate, which can be seen from the slide. Next, please. Agriculture and allied services, the most important intervention was formation of a chamber of farmers on the line.
Initiative featuring PSU support and guided by experts.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's our pleasure to be here in Bhubaneswar and welcome you all to this National Conference on Good Governance Practices. I must thank first and foremost the Government of Odisha for hosting us here in this vibrant city of Bhubaneswar today, and despite the circumstances, we all have assembled here, and I hope we'll have a very good, fruitful discussions during these 2 days. I should also thank our Secretary Shri V. Srinivasji and the Chief Secretary of Odisha. ACS Mr. Surendra Kumar is also here. So before we begin this session, as you all know, we are discussing the good governance practices, and DRPG has the mandate of working on administrative reforms and public grievances for Government of India. And in this mandate, finding good governance practices through the Prime Minister's Awards for Excellence in Public Administration forms a major component. So every year we conduct this Prime Minister Awards and in which we finally identify some 16 awardees from various domains of government service delivery, including at the level of Government of India, state government and the districts. This year, incidentally, we went a step deeper and we had 5 awards for aspirational blocks program also. So basically, we are going deeper into administrative reforms, and we are trying to bring the best practices out of the field, bring these officers to the notice of everyone, and the mandate is to get these good practices replicated. They should be brought to the notice of all, and they should be disseminated because we need not reinvent the wheels again and again. If someone has done tremendous and very good work in the field, it should be brought to the notice of everyone. And incidentally, we have been getting very good response over the last few years. So we initially had planned this session in which 4 speakers were to speak, but now we realize that one of the speakers, who happens to be from the state of Odisha, DM Koraput, Shri Kirti Vasan, he has not been able to make it to this session because of the prevailing situation. So we have 3 speakers with me. Now, speaking and organizing a session of nearly 2 hours with 3 speakers will be very long, and as you all know, not everyone has been able to make to this session today, and especially the local officers who were supposed to come have been affected, and some of them are still in movement. So I begin with telling about the brief of the PM Awards, and incidentally, my role has slightly become complicated because I did not prepare a presentation for this session. I was thinking that the speakers will speak for most of the time, but we have shortage of speaking slots now. So let me tell you that PM Awards basically talk of 3 main things. First is encourage competition between the districts. As you know, districts are competing, states are competing, union government ministries are competing for these awards. So a positive and a competitive competition should be there. Second is institutionalization of best practices. Let me say we got some 1600 nominations in this year's PMA 2024, out of which only 16 awards were conferred by the Honorable Prime Minister. So what could be more motivating for the officers to get this award from the Prime Minister himself at the Civil Services Day on the 21st of April? And so this institutionalization of best practices is our mandate, and in this through this exercise we are driving innovation. Basically 6 of our awards are based in innovation category, 2 in the Government of India, 2 in the states, and 2 out of districts. The other 2 categories which are very important for us, which is the holistic development of districts, from which this session has been curated, and 5 awards were conferred in this category. 3 of the speakers are here with me. The last focus area this year was the aspirational growth program, which has been introduced for the first time. Now, talking of the holistic development of district, let me briefly tell you about this what this encompasses and how we structure this session. If you go 4 to 5 years back, there used to be 3 schemes from the Government of India which we used to monitor, which we used to cover under the Prime Minister Awards. So every year the performance of these schemes was supervised, and the districts used to show and reflect their performances. Ministries used to validate whether the work has been done, and awards were given on those 3 schemes. Since 2023 and 2024, the number of schemes has been increased significantly. In PMA 2023, we have some speakers from last year also. We had 12 major Government of India schemes on the holistic development which were covered. And this year, incidentally, in PM 2024, we had 11 schemes of Government of India. Now, making these 11 and 12 schemes the center of the supervision, it is very important. I'll just briefly touch upon the 11 schemes which were covered this year. First was Har Ghar Jal Yojana. Second was Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Third was Awas Yojana Urban. Mission Indradhanush, Jan Arogya Yojana, PM Swanidhi, PM Matruvandana Yojana, Kisan Credit Card, PM Vishwakarma Yojana, Saksham Anganwadi Yojana and Poshan 2, and the last was PM Surya Graha Muft Bijli Yojana. Now, when we are talking of these 11 schemes, you would appreciate that there will be hundreds of officers involved in delivery of services under these schemes, and the role of the district magistrate is extremely critical to lead this large contingent of officers and to ensure that the service reaches the citizens. Now, when we covered these 11 schemes, the nature of the award itself changed. So we called it holistic development of districts. So in this, basically, if you see from Government of India perspective, and as you know, PM awards are closely monitored by the Office of the Honorable Prime Minister, we are able to produce a bird's eye view of the development, what is happening at the level of districts. Now this bird's eye view actually at one place will give you how the entire districts are functioning, how the ministry's results are coming. Prior to this, each ministry will have their own 1 or 2 schemes, and if you had to compile this data, it would be very difficult. Now, through PMA, the administrative reforms which Shri Nivas sir is driving can actually give a picture of how the districts are functioning relative to each other at the national level, and this outcome is actually pretty accurate. Now, in this award process, you know, last year we started the submission of nominations in around January. The districts got around 45 days to submit their nominations, and in total in all the 3 categories of awards, we got 1,588 nominations, which is a significant increase from PMA 23, where we had around 1,206 nominations. So despite a very compressed and brief nomination and submission period, the number of nominations actually increases. So I appreciate all the collectors, some of whom may be joining today through the video conferences. They did tremendous work, and the interest of the field officials is reflected in this. This is not only about interest in being awarded by the Honorable Prime Minister. what we have seen during this 3 or 4 months period of submission of nomination, monitoring of the schemes, it actually gives a lot of impetus, it actually gives a lot of drive when a large number of field officials under the leadership of the district magistrate, they put their wholehearted effort to see that the scheme performance still increases as much as possible, and they bring out the best pictures from the field. The evaluation process of the PM Awards is again very innovative, because why I should tell this? Normally, I don't think that any other scheme will be monitoring and analyzing the nominations in as much depth as the PM Awards does. So in the first stage, I'll talk about the holistic development of districts. There is a screening committee which has 12 joint secretary rank officers of Government of India. It is headed by an additional secretary. Likewise, in the other two categories also, 5 to 6 or maybe 10 joint secretaries are there, headed by an additional secretary. In case of aspirational awards, because the scheme is implemented by Niti Aayog, it was headed by the additional secretary from Niti Aayog. So this strong committee, and when you see that these officers will be coming from different cadres, different states, it makes a very diverse group of officers who are actually very committed to see that the best districts, best nominations actually go through. This is something which imparts so much credibility to these awards, and this committee works on almost for a month with the districts and ensures that the only best nominations go through the next stage, and 6x the number of awards goes to the next stage, at which a committee, expert committee headed by the Secretary DRPG, and which has another 8 senior secretaries of Government of India, goes to these nominations, which are committee headed by Cabinet Secretary of India, and this committee also has members and experts from the field. So overall, if you see the whole process, the Government of India, and at the level of Cabinet Secretary himself, he invests full 2 days just going through the submission. So this is the importance which Government of India is giving this scheme. Why I am telling this? Because as collectors, we all did tremendous work. But there were 2 issues. Firstly, at times we felt that maybe our work is not getting noticed, so I have not been able to present and I have not been suitably appreciated. Now, in today's scenario, when we invest so much time in the outreach, asking the collector to submit the nominations, out of almost 780 districts under the innovation and under the holistic development category, we got 430 odd nominations. So around 350 districts did not submit the nominations. I request the state government specifically and requesting sure that their nominations, because in the evaluation, when we got the data from the ministries, we saw that there were large number of districts who were doing phenomenally well, but we could not convince them, we could not pass on the message that it is important for them to submit their nominations. So they did not come under the evaluation process. We can only evaluate those districts who have actually submitted their nominations. Now, after this 2 months of grueling evaluation, in which we also have 2 components of field visits by Director, Deputy Secretary rank officers of Government of India, who actually go and meet the beneficiaries in the field, and a call center of BSNL in which the beneficiaries' numbers are called and their inputs are taken, that your name appears in the beneficiary list of this so-and-so scheme, whether you actually got the service. So the whole evaluation process is very thorough, very rigorous, and after this evaluation process, we are very confident that we have been able to bring out the best projects to the table. Now, in the district nominations, what we actually see, I'll just brief you about it. Let us say Har Ghar Jal Yojana. Why in this, and what is the objective in this scheme, which actually runs for 2.5 months? See, Har Ghar Jal Yojana, normally when the districts submit nominations, they mention that all the beneficiaries have been covered, the beneficiary list has been provided. But if you see the evaluation process, I'll just tell you, the scheme actually monitors percentage of villages certified Har Ghar Jal, the number of schemes which have been handed over to the Gram Panchayat, the percentage of functional tap connection. So it is not about laying of pipeline alone. The tap connection has to be functional. There should be water in this. Okay? The percentage of village where water source is tested with FTKA or in a lab So the water quality has to be tested, and number of HH household tap water supply is tested. So this is the next parameter. Percentage of village we have been trained for FTK. So how many trained staff has been created so that the water quality is sustainable. Percentage of remedial measures in case if the water is contaminated. Percentage of villages which have sanitary and committee, and percentage of village where this whole scheme has been tagged, geotagged. So basically what the ministry is monitoring is an end-to-end implementation of the scheme. It is not about registration of total beneficiaries or the pipeline laid in kilometer or the meter. It is actually how well the citizens are getting the government service. So the objective is far more broader than what normally we will visualize. So why I am telling this to all the audience here, because some of you will be in the field, some of you may be implementing these schemes as DMs or ADMs, or maybe supervising at the state level. See, the intent is that the benefit should reach the deserving beneficiaries and they should all benefit. And this is how all the schemes are, all the 11 schemes are monitored. Just in case of PM Vishwakarma, which is about training of the artisans and skilled workers. So the number of panchayats which have been identified as out of total onboarded in this scheme, stage 1 verification, stage 2 verification, successful registration of stage 2 verification. So these are stages, subsequent stages in the scheme. The beneficiaries who have actually undergone the training after registration, whether loan has been sanctioned to the beneficiary, and whether after grant of loan, whether he has or she has been able to get the toolkit from where they can ensure a sustainable livelihood. So here also it is the end-to-end monitoring of the scheme which has been considered. So having said that, after this rigorous exercise in which the ministry officials are involved, district officials are involved, DRPG officials are involved, we get a very clear picture of 11 schemes, how they are performing in the district, and how actually we get the picture of all the districts, but because we are considering the nominations only, how respectively these 427 or 430 districts are performing. It is very crystal clear. So after this, when you see that, okay, these 4 or 5 districts have ranked in the top, you really feel proud of them. These collectors have worked so hard in the district and this is not the work of one officer, let me tell you. Collectors actually collect this prize, but this is a work of entire team of the collectors, all the ADMs, SDMs, BDOs, line department officers, and ultimately the collector recognizes and represents that district. It is the whole district which gets the appreciation. The award is given to the district. So in this background, having told this background briefly, I'll ask one of our speakers to speak. I just add a point. This year we are starting the PMA 25 nomination submission slightly early because the scheme had been approved by the PMO for 2 years last year. So we have actually already activated the portal, though the submission of nominations will start from 2nd of October, but I will urge all of you, I will plead all of you, whosoever is interested to submit their nominations, and at the level of district, I will also request the government of Odisha to make it mandatory for all the collectors to submit their nomination, because collector is a very powerful position, and from there they should actually make that impact which they are there for. So if you go to the portal you will actually see what all in-depth parameters were being monitored, what all has been covered. So you have the time in hand at least for the next 3-4 months to invest working on the points which are not so well covered in this scheme implementation as of now. Some of the components are very soft components and they are not physical numbers or the figures which we normally monitor. They are in the terms of whether trainings have been deeper than what they are. This development is also a force area. So the 12 has been developed is also a force area. So the 12 has been designed, should think they should go deeper than actually do. Have a in hand. Once you move out, you impact, more impact, And there they and some of these presentations were being made. We actually felt how this officer is doing from here.
Everyone, PG additional delegate team. It is indeed a privilege to be here. Of the Rajkot district, it is a central district in the Saurashtra area of is around 46 2005. The size area of 11,203 square kilometers. There are that is corporation 600 because industrial innovation was always a challenge to achieve 100%. That we are 100% is all the blue dotted ones solar. Somehow the people have understood the economics behind it, and everyone is now like in city. They an add-on. They offer rooftop solar. Go and advertise. Next. So I can say that as the high number of solar rooftops, number of households. To put it in context, the number of installations was more than Surat, Ahmedabad, which are cities which are having approximately 3 to 4 times the population of Rajkot. Next. Coming to PA, out of projects, they have been awarded the Indian Green Building Certificate. They have all the facilities like solar rooftop, rainwater harvesting, community halls, Anganwadis, firefighting system, garden, DG set, etc. Next. Next. In the Kisan credit card, Rajkot lakh claims which amount to total 1,165 crore rupees, which five people who would have been treated of heart ailment, minimum 2-3 people who would have gone the total knee replacement colony, which was constructed by the corporation around 50 years ago. And on the right side, you see the new one around 50 years ago. And on the right side, you see the new one that is being constructed. Almost 70% of the construction is now over. The beneficiaries who are living, they are now getting a bigger apartment at free of cost. Even the rent is being paid by the builder who is building it. Instead of the low-rise apartments, high-rise apartments are being constructed. So the municipal corporation, they are getting additional 212 units, which they can subsequently allot to other low-income group beneficiaries. And the builder, he is now getting 1/3 of the land, which is around 1 acre in the posh area of the city. Next. In construction of the new societies, we were amongst the 6 cities selected in India based on a global technology challenge in deployment of what is called the in situ tunnel formwork technology. So this technology basically uses prefabricated structures. So in traditional building construction, you will have to go floor by floor. Once a floor gets completed, then you can start construction of the second one and then the third one. But here you have pre-constructed, prefabricated structures which you can just combine, and the construction can take place at a very fast pace. It is also cheaper, and it results in better quality finish because there are less number of joints. Also, it is earthquake resistant. We were able to construct more than 1,144 dwelling units in around 22 months. The project was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister himself, and also it got mentioned in the Man Ki Baat program. It has all the facilities like the swings, the gardens, the DG set, rainwater harvesting systems, drainage, etc. That you can see in the photograph. Next. So as we were mentioning, the rising solar industry in the town, so many people are now coming up with the innovative solutions like automatic sprinkler systems. So you need not worry how to clean your solar panels at 6 a.m. every day through automatic controller. The pump will start working and the solar panels shall get cleaned. Also how to position it. So for bigger projects, people are coming with softwares about shadow analysis, and these are being supported by the Startup India program at the district and the state level. Next, how has it helped in the sustainability aspect? We have been able to reduce 1,39,000 metric ton of greenhouse gases, which is equivalent to planting of 43 lakh trees. This is the photograph of coming to the district level initiatives that we took. This is the photograph of a neonatal intensive care unit, which we set up at 2 places in Upleta and Gondal. Upleta is around 90 kilometers from the headquarter, and Gondal is around 40 kilometers. There was lack of neonatal care facilities in these towns. Earlier, the children had to be referred. So we found that there was a unique opportunity because there were trainee interns, doctors there, not interns, but there's one course called CPS course, which is a kind of a diploma course. So these people were doing their diploma course, but they were not having good equipments on one side, and the other side we had doctors who could be trained. So we decided to use various funds of the District Mineral Foundation, the NHM flexible funds, and various grants to procure these equipments, and as a result, please next slide, we were able to treat more than 835 neonates in the last 1 year. We procured neonatal ventilators, portable X-ray machines, baby warmers, etc. Also equipped them with better medicines like lung surfactants, which are usually available at the medical college level. And this also, we got a study evaluated by AIMS Rajkot, which has also appreciated our efforts. Coming to Poshan Abhiyan, this requires a whole of society approach. So we tried to do whatever we can involving all the stakeholders. So one of the innovation was we got the NRLM women make chikkis, which are basically made from jaggery and groundnut, and we funded them through the miscellaneous funds like Jila Panchayat funds, the DMF, etc. So on one side, the nutritional status of these children improved, and on the other side, the rural women, they also got employed. Similarly, we got the NRLM women self-help groups make the wooden toys, which were distributed to the 330 Anganwadis, again using the local level funds. Next. Poshan Vatikas we developed to provide fresh vegetables and also a sense of greenery in the Anganwadis. In municipal corporation areas, they provided water coolers to 211 Anganwadis. CSR also we deployed, and Amul Dairy is delivering flavored milk to the Anganwadi centers. And the various NGOs like Rotary Club, they are providing protein powder and other nutritional supplements to these Anganwadis. Next. Convergence has been a core focus because there are many areas which are at the cross-section of these schemes. We did an analysis and found that an average PMAY rural beneficiary is beneficiary of 7 other government schemes like Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat, Ujjwala Yojana, Har Ghar Jal, Poshan 2.0, Mission Indradhanush, and Ujala Yojana, etc. Next. To ensure that there is success in any of the social sector scheme, it has to be very heavy on the Jan Bhagidari aspect and behavioral change communication. Especially Poshan Abhiyan, we conducted a lot of events, field visits, exposure visits, Gram Sabhas, events, etc. In PM Swanidhi also, the loans were sanctioned in a mega loan mela kind of format, so that a message goes in the community that it is our top priority. In Pradhan Mantri Awas Rural also, PM Vishwakarma also, we launched good events, good campaigns, and again made good use of the Viksit Bharat Yatra campaign. Next, because of the focus on these schemes, especially Har Ghar Jal, etc., we were able to upgrade our SCADA system for the water distribution. Earlier, there used to be zonal wars between various wards of the cities. The ward which was more active and which would pump more water, suppose they would rise at 12 a.m. in the morning or say 3 a.m. in the morning and start pumping, they would get the lion's share of the water supply. But now we have a real-time bulk water audit system where we know that what are the levels at various tanks, and there is an equitable distribution of the resources within the city. Next. One of the key aspects of the award scheme was the focus on promotion of transparency and grievance redressal mechanism. Many of the schemes, they are covered under the Citizens Charter, which is mandated by the government. For example, tap connections have to be provided within 20 days. Social audit was conducted regularly for schemes like Har Ghar Jal, where Pani Samitis played an active role. Arogya Samitis are also functional for keeping an oversight on missions like Mission Indradhanush, Matra Vandana Yojana, etc. And we have centralized call center for almost basically all the schemes. Some are at district level, some are at the state level. And for example, for the solar rooftop Yojana, we would use these call centers for proactively calling the prospective beneficiaries and also solving their grievances. Next. No effort can be sustainable without focus on capacity building. We trained more than 11,000 participants under PM Poshan, and also in Vasmo, we trained the Sakhi Mandal members to make them operators of the water distribution systems. Next. Here's a case study of one Mr. Shivubhai Ravjibhai Sindhav. He is a rural beneficiary of Pradhan Mantri Awas Rural. So totally he has got a capital subsidy under various schemes to the tune of almost 3 lakh rupees, and he is a Divyang beneficiary. So we also did one more major campaign in our district, that was we tied up with Alimco, that is a Government of India enterprise, Artificial Limb Corporation of India, and we conducted Divyang Sadhan Sahay camps for in each of the blocks, and he got a motorized tricycle worth rupees 45,000. Like many of his other beneficiaries, he has been able to move around freely, and also he is earning around 13,000 rupees per year because of the surplus energy, surplus power he is generating and injecting in the grid. So my next, rather the final concluding humble suggestions or other humble experience that I would share with all the esteemed dignitaries here is that I have found it that the more we collaborate with the various stakeholders like NGOs, they give us fresh ideas which perhaps we are not able to get from our official machinery, so that was quite useful. Also, setting short-term and long-term targets would help in getting certain tangible results at the end of our tenure. And during the process of evaluation, I got to interact with many beneficiaries, and it was very heart-touching and heartwarming to hear their stories, how the small vendors were disturbed because of the corona, and because of the micro loan given by the government, how their business has now reached to a respectable level. So more interaction with beneficiaries, somehow I feel that because of our regular responsibilities, duties, we are lost in reviewing data over paper, but a regular interaction with beneficiaries and measuring outcomes is a very much essential thing. And we definitely, I made it a point to take certain projects for what we call Swantah Sukhay, means for one's own satisfaction. So these were the core philosophy with which I worked in that district. I once again thank you all for a patient hearing, and I again thank the ERPG and team for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabha, for that very elaborate presentation, and I hope you all agree with us that it is some tremendous performance in the field. In case of Rajkot, amongst the 11 schemes which were monitored, they had minimum achievement in one scheme which was at 56%, 10 schemes were above 60%, so that was, so all throughout, all 11 schemes they were doing phenomenally well. So thank you. Now much different from the slightly developed district of Rajkot, we have on the other extreme the district of Gomati from Tripura, where Shri Tarit Kanti Chakma, he that's basically he did some phenomenal work, and the district is quite rural in the setting, and to tell the story of the development work done in Gomati, and Gomati also matched Rajkot in performance in almost all the schemes. So Tarit.
A very good morning, everyone. I would like to extend my gratitude to respected secretaries at the DRPG, respected Additional Secretary Sir, respected seniors, and my dear colleagues. Next page. I'll just give a brief description of my district. It is one of the 8 districts of the state of Tripura, having a population of almost 5.20 lakhs right now, and the literacy rate has become 100% right now, because Tripura has just declared that it is the 3rd state of the country to be 100% literate this month only, and we basically telling this district is entirely almost rural district, with around 64% belonging to the ST and ST tribes. There are 3 subdivisions here. We are having 8 blocks in total, and the number of urban local bodies is very less, only 2, and the number of population is also very less here. Next page. As Sir was also pointing that there are some districts which are called protocol districts. My district also belong to that kind of category. This is the Matabari temple, one of the 51 Shakti-Pit temples of the country. Next page. Next page. I'll just give a brief details regarding the schemes and the percentages that we had actually been able to achieve. Starting from Har Ghar Jal, we have been able to achieve around 86% as of today. One of the reasons for not achieving 100% is that because it is a hilly terrain, and there are even after multiple biddings also the bidders are also not coming, and there is the reason, like sometimes whenever we are also placing the work order, even in the midway also people are, the bidders are also, or the workers, the contractor, actually they are leaving the project. So we are having, because of those paucities, we are unable to do this 100% saturation for the Har Ghar Jal, that is a Jal Jeevan Mission. Regarding PMY Gramin, we have been able to saturate almost 98%. Regarding PMY Urban, here we have been able to achieve almost 80%. Mission Indradhanush, we have been able to do 96% here. Regarding the Ayushman Bharat PMJY, I would like to highlight that we have been able to do 80%. The reason being, in the 2011 census, all the population was not being able to cover. So basically what the state government did was, they had launched their own Chief Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, wherever the PMJY left out beneficiaries has been included, and basically we are actually striving to get it 100% very soon. And regarding PM Swanidhi, due to the low urban population, the number of the coverage is here, also is here, but it's all 100%. PM Matrubandhana Yojana 95.2% we have been able to do, and KCC we have been able to saturate almost wherever the applications we have been able to got. Regarding PM Vishwakarma again, we have been able to do the processing of whatever we have got from the different Gram Panchayat level. And regarding the Saksam AWC and Poshan Abhiyan, that we have been able to do 96.93%. And PM Suryaghar, as highlighted by my previous district, we have just recently launched there, and it is not as flashy like Rajkot district. It's being rural district, and the number of persons coming to the fore is also very less. But we're actually trying, and upcoming we are having around more than 210 households in the focus. Next page. The schemes I have just highlighted regarding the percentage saturation and everything. Next page. Next page. I would just like to highlight the challenges. Next page. I would like to highlight this particular fact that if I compare my district with the district of the presentation that presented before me, Rajkot district, the area of Rajkot district is almost equivalent to the state of Tripura. But still, like whatever the problems that exist are actually different as compared to the other mainland states also. So I would just like to highlight the different challenges that we actually face there. I mean, basically I can also talk on behalf of other districts of the northeastern states also. There are the devastating floods that occur almost every year. Because the number of months that we actually get rains in the northeast India is quite high, like 6-7 months, sometimes it extends, and the rain is quite heavy. So devastating floods of 2024, we had around 1.25 lakhs, 1,25,000 households were affected, and they were actually have to be moved, and they have to be airlifted by the NDRF team, which came from Bihar and Gomati also. So because of the river Gomati, from which the district also owes its name, the number of the households being affected is very high. And basically, if we say like out of 12 months, we have around 6 months of working months, and the other 6 months there will be spell of working period and spells of non-working period at the same time. Regarding to the geographical terrains and monsoons, as I said, like geographical terrains is one thing. I mean, it is all hilly terrain and all, and it's all muddy. Unlike the big hilly states like Uttarakhand and all, which are mostly rocky, यहाँ पे maximum मिट्टी वाला ये है geographical texture. So whenever the roads are being made and all, they actually we have the landslides and all, the roads being damaged, and whatever the infrastructure we build, that also gets damaged and all. And reaching to the more remotest areas, I mean, carrying a single brick, which the brick costing around 12 rupees at the factory brick industry, it will be reaching at 25 rupees to the most interior part, because head loading and taking by the vehicles, and sometimes vehicle cannot even go for this purpose. Even the bidders who are actually coming in for the JJM or maybe for the PMY houses, it become a gigantic task that we have to go and we have to request the beneficiaries, where the beneficiaries have a part to play to actually be a part of the different schemes. And cultural and social barriers, I want to highlight this fact, like there are 19 different tribes in the state of Tripura, and each and every tribe has their own language. They speak their own language, they have their own customs, they have their own set of rules and all. So basically overcoming this cultural and social barrier and making to understand the nosity or the genuineness of the government schemes is something that we have to go on. We have to take the help of the PRI bodies and everyone here at one go. And skill labor and trained personnel also one thing. State government has taken a lot of initiatives to actually have the more trained personnel and skilled labor. But still there are some, I would like to highlight, like one mason is actually building 10 houses at one go. So today if he is unable to go at one house, he is going to one house, then he will be unable to go at other 9 houses. Next page. Jan Bhagidari, as I said, like different tribes, different cultures, different language. We have to go, we have to talk to them. It's not like we go there and we talk to the language that I'm talking, maybe in Bengali or English, so they won't be understanding. So there is a gap also, language gap. So we have to take the help of the local PRI bodies, and the Panchayat secretaries and the GRS, RPM are there who are actually helping us in this regard. Regarding the financial inclusion, here again the bank's coverage to the interior areas also is also one thing that is difficult to be reached, because right now all the schemes are mostly DBT, and the persons has to come to the banks, have to check the banks that the money has been credited, and accordingly they will start the work. So these things we have to take care, we have to nudge them again and again. And regarding the areas with low network connectivity, so most of the schemes right now are mostly have something to do with the internet connectivity, starting from the geotagging, starting from the MIS entry, and starting from whatever the the different even the money that is being debited to the accounts. We have to network connectivity is something that has to be relied on. Next page. I would like to highlight this that regarding the quantitative aspect, I mean no one is to be left behind. The quantity, how we actually have to achieve the 100% saturation, that is what I wanted to highlight here. I have kept my presentation mostly with pictorial so that it is easier to understand and can get the attention of the audience here. We had kept the aim of 100% saturation. 100% saturation means whenever we are doing the survey, though no one is to be left behind, so that everyone has to be covered. So that was the main focus of ours. How it is being done, it is the involvement of the elected representatives and strengthening of the institutions. So wherever possible, we are trying to actually have the role of the PRI representatives, the pradhans, the upapradhans, the members, the sabadhipatis. We are actually trying to involve them at all the different levels, because basically telling if we are actually unable to get their help, then it is not possible to implement the schemes at the different levels. And strengthening of institutions, we are actually having the different panchayat buildings being made, the different panchayat houses being made, and the GP areas. And to tell also this particular thing that Tripura belongs to the 6 scheduled areas, as most of the states of the these northeastern states. So basically there is a dual government existing there. We have to take care of those particular institutions also, because there are different, I mean there are in a state there are MLS, there in our state there are MLS, but there are MLS of the 6 scheduled areas also. So we have to take care of those persons also. And sometimes if the government are of different parties, that becomes a difficult for us also. And use of digital platforms, social media, YouTube, etc. we have been trying to do. And regarding the IEC and BCC campaign, we have been trying to get as much as possible through the help of the social media also, through miking also. We are going to the interior villages, doing more miking there, so that we can be able to reach more and more. Next page. And using these different programs launched by the government of India, say Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. So state government had done one good thing, like they launched their own campaign, Pratigare Susasan. So we actually had merged these particular two things together, and we had done more than 400 campaigns in the whole district. So actually we were able to actually gather the information that was necessary regarding the beneficiaries details and everything. And district vision in 2047, we are the only district of the state to actually have our own district vision. We had made our own district vision, and we basically if we know the problem, then we'll be able to solve the problem. So basically we are trying to have something that we are going to achieve in 2047. Based on that thing, we'll be working so that we can march in the particular direction there. Next page. This is the qualitative aspect. So we have looked into the quantity. Now qualitative aspect, how does the quality doesn't get affected, what needs to be done. So basically we have focused on the feedback mechanism. So we are having Gram Sabha, regular Gram Sabha, we are having regular field visits also, we are having a lot of administrative camps, so that we are getting maximum feedback from the ground level. So if there is something amiss, if there is something gap from there, so we will be able to fulfill those gaps. And we also, regarding the qualitative aspect, we are trying to get recognition through GI tagging. In the last 1 year, from our district itself, we have got 2 GI tag. That is, one is the Matavari Temple Para, and another one is the Risha, the local handicraft. So we have been able to, we tried our level best from our district, and we have been able to get 2 GI tag from our own district itself. That is a part that being played by the district administration. And regarding the auditing to look into the quality, that the quality of the different schemes is being done very nicely. We are having our social audit, we are having the AG audit, we are having the internal audit at the same time. And coming to the next point, periodical review meeting we are having with all the line departments, basically telling if we are able to take along the line departments. So as being said by sir also, that district collectors are just the face, but the thing is like it is being done by all the line departments as a whole. So if we are able to take the line departments along with us, it becomes more easier for the implementation of the different schemes and for the saturation as such. So we are having the periodical meetings with the BDOs, we are having with the SDMs, and we are having with the block level officers also. We are having periodical meeting, and that's monthly meeting for everyone. So a lot of meetings are happening, so that like whatever whatever the improvements are happening, that can also be reflected, and that can be got and that can be worked upon. Next page. As highlighted, like regular field visit is one of the norm for the quality of the schemes being implemented at the ground level. And grievance redressal mechanism, we are taking care of this particular thing. CPGram is the central government initiative. We are having the CM helpline 1905. Anyone aggrieved with any of the schemes, they can call there 1905. So it's a CM helpline launched by state government. So any complaint being launched, it is going to the CM office. The CM office is forwarding the same to the districts, and districts are actually forwarding the same to the line department, so that whatever being lacunae or whatever the gaps in the different schemes being implemented, that can be highlighted and that can be worked upon if there is some gaps also. And Amar Sarkar portal, another portal, has been launched by the Honorable CM. Here he is interacting directly with the particular these particular locales. So Tripura is one of the states where 100% e-office implementation has been done. Here even there is no presence of the physical files. I mean the blocks, the districts, the state. We are actually doing everything on the e-files here. So, what I am trying to say is that we are trying to have a very clean and e-office implementation, so that like whenever the files are there, that is not getting stuck and all. And regarding the QR, it is given in the slash here. QR, we have made a QR code. We have given the QR code in all the Gram Panchayat and the BC, that is the village council for the 6 scheduled areas. We doesn't have the Gram Panchayat office there. We are having the BC, village council offices there. We have the QR code installed in all the Gram Panchayat offices, where anyone can scan the QR code and they can launch any complaint. That is a unique thing done by our district, which is not an state initiative. It is an initiative of the district itself. Regarding the clean and green office, we have been trying to have a clean environment for all the offices. And regarding the digital infrastructure usages, we have been trying to use the digital infrastructure at the maximum. And this is Smaran to do tasks. So this is a app being made by the district itself, wherever the officers they can put the different tasks that is to be done for today. And if I put something that the task I have to do by today evening at 4 p.m., that particular app will give me a reminder telling that you have to do this particular task and all. Next page. Some glimpses of the clean and green office of the one of the SDM office. And at the same time, as I said, the green office, we had done 1 lakh plantation on this 5th July this 2024, and just previous month we have planted 1.5 lakhs plantation in a single day. So we are focusing on the plantation part also at the same time. Next page. Regarding the some photos being given of the one hospital here. This is the CSC, Community Healthcare Hospital. This became first in the whole of the state for being in the Kayakalp category, for being able to have a very clean hospital in the whole state. So this is an offshoot of Kayakalp is an offshoot of Swachh Bharat Mission. So basically, we are actually also trying to nudge the hospitals to have a very clean and green environment also. Next page. Different photos of the behavioral changes that we are initiating. There are eco toilets being set up in different places. There are washing hands of the kids in the Anganwadi centers, and in front of block offices we are keeping these bins made of iron, so that people can put up the plastic bottles and all. Next page. Innovative aspects, I want to highlight that we are trying to have the model panchayats. So in most of the blocks we have been trying to have this solar powered panchayats along with the comprehensive CCTV system. So we are actually trying to have this particular panchayats with the latest technological advancement. And we are having the safe drinking water facilities to the panchayats. You can see in the photo, we are actually ensuring this particular by giving water cooler for all the panchayat offices and the BC offices here. And striving for the achieving ISO certification. Recently, last year itself, we have got the National Panchayat Awards also, under which we have got 5 crores award from the Government of India. Under this, we are actually utilizing all the money for the ISO certification of all the Gram Panchayats of the district. We are striving to have ISO certification of all the Gram Panchayats in the state. And we are having the yearly calendar of the blocks and panchayats, where we are actually giving them targets, and we are fortunate here. You can see in the photo, Honorable Governor, also we invited him to launch the calendar, where there are different deadlines and the schemes deadlines that we are going to have for this particular year. And so next page. Same here, we are having regular Mahila Sabha, Bal Sabha, and follow up for the execution of the projects here. That the picture is being shown here. And online service delivery is also one thing that we are giving from the blocks that have ROR, record of right. We are having the birth certificate being given from the block offices also. And Dibangjan friendly panchayats, we are having separate sitting arrangement, the wheelchairs at the panchayats in almost all the panchayats in of the district. Next page. Model Anganwadis, so we are having the model Anganwadis with the solar powered Anganwadis and CCTV system. We are giving them the safe drinking water and sanitation because the kids are coming there. And it is our duty and the part of the government to give them the basic facilities.
And 1 more minute, please. 1 more minute,
sir.
1 more minute,
sir. That's it then. Next page. And recognition of the employees is one thing, and we are trying to give recognition to the employees for whatever the work being done. Next page. This is highlights of the visit of the Ministry Sport Assessment Team. Next page. Next. 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 Success stories next. 2023, this Bhumi Samman achievement. Next page. 2024, we got National Panchayat Awards, 5 crores fund we have got from the Government of India for being the top district in the country. Next page. Next page. 25, we have got this award from Honorable Chief Minister at the state level, the best district in the state. Next page. Next page. This is the DRPG, we have got the PM Excellence Awards. Next page. Next. 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 Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Taritkanti Chakma, ex-DM and Collector Gomati, for that detailed presentation. As you would see, Gomati is as complicated place to deliver successful results, whether it is hilly terrain, 6 months flood, or multiple tribes, multiple languages, and under such challenges, the district has been able to deliver such wonderful results. Small incremental initiatives like Smaran, DM himself driving to-do list to the officials, I think they make a lot of impact. So the message here is that if a remote district like Gomati can achieve this, then why not the other districts and other states? So with this message, I now invite our third speaker for the day, Ms. Ayushi Sudan. She is collector of Kupwara in Jammu and Kashmir, and it is in the Kashmir side of the Jammu. So she will tell again the stories and the phenomenal works it has been done in the district. Thank you, Ayushi. The floor is yours.
Respected Secretary DRPG, Srinivas sir, Additional Secretary Puneet Yadav sir, Sarita ma'am, esteemed seniors and colleagues, a very good morning. And I would like to first of all thank DRPG for the wonderful opportunity to present our initiatives in this particular conference. Just to bring into context a brief about Kupwara. Kupwara is the northernmost district of the country and Jammu and Kashmir. It has a very long LOC of around 170 kilometers with very high altitude ranges, with paths which are covered under snow for 6 to 7 months at one time, with immense tourism potential, the highest producer of walnut in the country, and primarily rural and aspirational. Next. This picture essentially encapsulates the essence of Kupwara. This is in fact a block in Kupwara called Keren. The river is Kishan Ganga. On the left hand side we see the Keren block of Kupwara district, and on the right hand side we see POK. And this captures the sense of Kupwara in the sense of its remoteness, its immense potential, and the fact that it is aspirational. To begin with, we identified the gaps in our service delivery. The first gap that we identified was that because of the past poor law and order, as well as an overall low per capita income, there was little to no private sector, and as a result, limited number of job opportunities. The second gap was with respect to the tough terrain and the climatic adversities. With heavy snowfall and very tough terrain, the working season for Kupwara was actually pretty low. So as a result, the infrastructure projects would take a long time to get executed. But however, we saw this weakness as an opportunity and tried to push for tourism in the sector. The third was low access to clean drinking water. At the inception of JJM in 2019, we had only 37% of our households who had access to clean drinking water. Although we had bountiful water resources, we were not able to capture the runoff, which presented an immense challenge for the district. The fourth was the poor market opportunities for the people in Kupwara and low footprint of banking sector also. And the fifth, apart from Manrega and a few other schemes, limited knowledge of existing schemes of both the UT government and the union government presented a challenge with respect to the uptake of several schemes. Next. So we decided on these particular focus areas. First, with extensive outreach and stakeholder engagement and creating private partners at the local level, at the subdivisional level, block level, and the district level. We tried to enhance the awareness of the various schemes. Second was capacity building. Capacity building of our existing staff as well as private partners like youth clubs, Pani Samitis, women SAGs, so that they could take ownership of the rural economy and overall economy of the Kupwara district. Third, because women played a very limited role in the private sector, and they had an overall poor literacy level as well. We focused on gender sensitization with focus on SAGs and women literacy. Fourth was grievance redressal. Like the other two districts, we also had IG grams, CP grams, and our own UT government state portals like Samadhan, Mulakat, wherein grievance redressal was made at the doorsteps of the individual. As well as with the help of public darbars, block divases, by Prabhari officers at the village level, we tried to inculcate a very robust feedback mechanism for our schemes being implemented at the block levels. And fifth, the regular follow-up and monitoring by our subcommittees. As a result, we charted out this 6-point strategy. The first was accountability and regular monitoring. We constituted a district task force whose task was to monitor the performance of select indicators at the district level on a regular basis. In fact, some special performance trackers were also developed for certain sectors. For example, education, ICDS, which I'll be taking upon later on in the slides. Second, to improve community participation, we ensured that each village was assigned a Prabhari officer under the Back to Village program, who not only tracked the progress of the village in time, but also tried to bridge the gap between the government and the people, as well as resolve certain village level issues on his own. Third, online services. We tried to create as much as CSC touch points, improve our banking correspondence, improve the number of our banking correspondents, bank sakhis, and try to inculcate the habit of using online services in the rural areas. With the help of the various Government of India and UT government's portals like Jan Sugam, Revenue Plus, most of the services were now available in the online mode with all the people. And we also try to facilitate our movement to border sector using our own portals called the e-pass portal. Fourth was private sector and NGO engagement. We engaged several NGOs like IOCL, SIDBI, some local NGOs, Rotary Club, etc., to meet infrastructural gaps in very key sectors. especially with respect to health, education in our border areas, and tried to even engage these NGOs in social sector for our Nashamuk programs, etc. Fifth was convergence in schemes. A lot of these schemes were implemented in convergence with each other. For example, flood protection measures were being done in convergence with Manrega, solarization was being done in convergence with districts, district capex. With SSA, we try to improve the infrastructure in our schools. Sixth was the youth engagement. We carried out a big exercise of identifying the skill gaps among our youths and tried to skill them against the trades and then linked them using our existing government sector schemes and promote self-employment. As a result of this, we were able to improve our beneficiaries in almost all the schemes over time. So on the left hand side, the bar shows the figure of 2022 and on the right hand side of 2024. Next. Next. Under JJM, while we were at only 50% in 2022, this figure increased to 84% in 2024 with respect to FHTC coverage. This was done as a result of the regular monitoring being done at the district level, as well as capacity building, strengthening of our Pani Samitis, taking ownership of our water assets. Apart from that, we tried to ensure water source strengthening. And in convergence with Manrega and other schemes within the district capex, we tried to promote groundwater recharge using recharge structures. In the last year itself, we were able to build more than 450 recharge structures in the district, more than 150 Amrit Sarovars, which eventually helped in water source strengthening. We also realized that during our peak season, especially when paddy cultivation was going on, a lot of water was being diverted for irrigation purposes. And therefore, we realized that we had to ensure that our traditional schools had to be revived. We had to ensure desilting in these schools so that this water doesn't get diverted, the drinking water doesn't get diverted for irrigation purposes. And again, we tried to converge the two schemes, Manrega and IWMP, for strengthening of our cool systems in order to meet both the irrigation and the drinking water requirements. Next. Under PMAYG, we were able to build more than 10,000 households across the district. We saturated not only the SECC data, but also the non-SECC data. And like Rajkot, we also converged with Manrega. Every household which we developed under PMAY was also provided 90 labor man days under MG Narega. So as a result, when we completed our 10,000 households, we actually generated more than 7 lakh man days just to cover this particular component. We also converged it with SBM, with JJM, Ujjwala. Every household was ensured a gas connection, water supply, electricity connection. We also tried to adapt to the local climatic conditions. In areas, especially in our border areas where the snowfall is very high, we realized that a particular design type of stone and wood is more suitable. And therefore, we try to modify the design type of our PMAYG houses for that. And as well as, we also realized another issue when we were implementing the scheme. We realized that there was less number of trained manpower at the local level. So, to improve the skill base at the village level, at the local level, we tried to train and empanel local masons under RCT and Skill India to ensure that we are able to construct our houses in a timely and ensure quality in the same. Multi-agency verification for these houses was also crucial in identifying gaps at very crucial junctures and then rectifying the same. Similar to the PMAY rural, we also implemented 1,500 houses in the urban sector. Although Kupwara is mainly a rural district, we have 3 MCs, and for that we use a similar strategy for that of PMAY, and ensured timely construction of the same. Next. Under Mission Indradhanush, we were able to achieve 100% saturation, and this was achieved as with the help of two things: expansion of our cold chains to our remote centers, especially our border areas. We tried to introduce solar-based ILRs to ensure that power cuts don't affect the immunization schedules. Apart from that, with micro-planning and a focus on hard-to-reach areas and deployment of mobile immunization teams and effective use of real-time tracking tools like eWin and uWin digital platforms. Next. Under under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, we saturated all our households. And out of these households, when we took up an analysis, we realized that more than 70,000 beneficiaries actually took benefit out of these out of the scheme, with an approved claim of about 127 crores across the district. This not only strengthened our private infrastructure, but also our government infrastructure, because the same claim fund money was in fact used by our government hospitals to improve their infrastructure needs. For example, an STH in Kupwara with a dysfunctional OT used the claim fund money that we received from PMJY to make it functional and to get the right equipment in place. Next. Under PM Swanidhi, we carried out a vendor survey wherein we identified around 750 vendors. Not only were they linked to all the digital payment platforms, we also recognized that they were a vulnerable group. So to cover them under social security, we integrated this scheme with other schemes like PMSBY and JJBY, so that these vulnerable group are also, they also have financial and social security coverage. Apart from that, hand-holding through our local DIC was also done, not only to strengthen our credit linkage, but also to ensure that installments were paid on time and they progress as the scheme progresses. Next. Again, this is a scheme where we achieved 100% saturation, Matru Vandana Yojana. With line listing of the pregnant women, with the help of joint Asha and Anganwadi teams, block-wise action plans, a very effective use of the VHSND days for the mass enrollment, and making the incentives of this particular scheme contingent on meeting specific goals, like getting the required number of ANC registrations, getting the right vaccinations, etc. We were able to achieve 100% saturation under the scheme. Under Kisan Credit Card, we covered more than 1 lakh farmers in the district. We realized one issue with our agriculture sector, that was low cropping intensity. And to counter that, we try to go for crop diversification and term loans. Combined with PMFPY, we were able to achieve tremendous improvements in the various the crop productions, which you can see in the slide. Next. Under Saksham Anganwadi, again we had achieved 100%. We also try to digitize all our Anganwadi centers. We launched a specific program in Kupwara district called the Kuposhan Mukt Kupwara Abhiyan to tackle the SAM and MAM children. Rainwater harvesting structures, installation of digital devices like Alexa, CCTV cameras, Poshan Vavatikas, child-friendly chairs, all were made available in these Anganwadi centers to ensure to ensure a peaceful environment for the children as well as the pregnant ladies. Next. Under PM Surya Ghar, we mobilized more than 15,000 applications in Kupwara district and carried out massive IEC in local dialects as well as door-to-door enrollment drives. We tried to train our local youth as well as our SAG members to convert them into solar sakhis or solar mitras for doorstep applications, and try to introduce a real-time dashboard for installation progress and meter status. I'll be covering only 4 sectors with certain highlights in the district. The agriculture sector, as I previously mentioned, we had very low cropping intensity and very mundane practices of single crop or at maximum single crop coupled with a little bit of horticulture. So we tried to introduce alternative cropping for crop diversification. As a result, we were able to achieve oilseed production, increase our oilseed production, fodder production, and try to give thrust on polyhouses. Why? Because during winters, most of our lands were covered under snow. And through polyhouses and through vegetable cultivation, we were able to provide an alternative income for our farmer. We also tried to create a new kind of entrepreneurs called the Krishipreneurs. We realized that the processing level in Kupwara district was actually pretty low, and as a result, the youth, which were especially educated, did want to come in for agriculture in Kupwara. Therefore, formation of FPOs through these educated youths, and then processing.
Just a minute, Ayushi, I'm interfering. 2 minutes only, please. Our next session will begin at 11.
Right, sir. And linking them with different schemes like the PMEGP, NRLM, and HADP, which is a local scheme, we try to create more employment opportunities within employment opportunities for our educated youth and try to convert them into Krishipreneurs. We also focused on cluster-based approach and tried to introduce a niche crop in a particular sector or a cluster to ensure that the farmers are able to make proper gains out of it. Next. Second was we try to create new employment opportunities to address the first gap that I had discussed. We created more than 25,000 jobs in the last 2 years, dovetailing the existing self-employment schemes under a specific initiative that we took in Kupwara called the Hunar Month Kupwara. We strengthened our ITIs and polytechnics, and we try to ensure that we scale up to a maximum a minimum of 3,000 individuals within a year. We try to create ecotourism sectors, and because of the massive jump in tourist footfall, we try to meet it with infrastructural improvement as well as registration of homestays. And as I previously had mentioned, we try to expand the role of women in the village economy through our SHGs. As a result, more than 75,000 women joined our SHG movement in Kupwara district. These are some of the glimpses of the private sector units that have been established under various schemes. In tourism sector, where in 2020-21 we were only getting a couple of thousand tourists in a year, there was a big jump made in the last 5 years. We reached up to 4 lakh a year, and this was done as a result of improved security scenarios, registration of homestays, new border infrastructure, and collaboration with other stakeholders, especially the armed forces. Lastly, the education sector, wherein we launched a program, next please, wherein we launched a program called the Zimmedari Project, where we created a dedicated dashboard to rank our schools across 6 thematic areas and 85 KPIs for better planning and monitoring at our level, and also to foster competition at the school level. We also had a dedicated program on foundational literacy and numeracy, wherein, in collaboration with Pratham, wherein we introduced assessments as well as certain bridge courses, which resulted in improvement by 25% in our foundational literacy and numeracy in the classes of 3rd to 5th. We made an extensive use of technology with the introduction of smart classrooms, with more than 350 smart classrooms being introduced in the district. This is one of the report cards of one of the schools that we had ranked just to encapsulate the Zimedari project. Next. Some of the glimpses of the improved infrastructure in our schools, libraries, the robotics labs. Next. Next. In health, while we achieved 100% ANC, 100% immunization, now we focused on health equipment strengthening. Next. And new buildings for HWC so that they could be a focal point for new initiatives, especially NCD screening. Next. Next. These are some of the glimpses into the CSS schemes implemented in the district. Next. Next. The key takeaways that we had was contextual customization, empowering our field functionaries, celebrating our small wins, motivating our teams, and using technology as an enabler. Next. It's a small clip of 30 seconds that we'll just play. It's a testimonial of a tribal woman in Kalarus who's just received water for the first time after independence. Next. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayushi. A big round of applause for all our three speakers. I am sure all of you will agree that at least these three ladies and gentlemen, they had very good reasons to say in the field, मेरे यहाँ तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, पूरा अर्बन इलाका है, डेवलपमेंट क्या करें, और मेरे यहाँ तो सारा का सारा पहाड़ी इलाका है, डेवलपमेंट क्या करें, बाढ़ आ रखी है, और मेरे यहाँ पूरा का पूरा लॉ एंड ऑर्डर वाला सिचुएशन का इलाका है, काम क्या करें. But they have demonstrated that if there is a will, you can actually deliver, and which is why they were recognized by as a PM awardee, and Honorable Prime Minister himself conferred the award to them. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am sure your speech today has been motivational enough for some of our audience here. They might have felt that इन्होंने जो किया है मैं इनसे भी 2 कदम आगे जा करके दिखाऊंगा. Thanks a lot. We'll conclude this session. Thank you.
May I request esteemed Director, Dr. Tushaba Shindeji, to please join us on stage and present small tokens of gratitude to the chairperson and all speakers. Can we have another overwhelming round of applause for the session when the day starts with such brave and brilliant stories? You know the national conference is going to be highly impactful. Thank you so much, chairperson. Thank you all speakers for adding your inspiring stories, for setting the bar so high when it comes to good governance practices. That is what the motto of this national conference is, where we are here to learn from each other. Thank you so much, Dr. Shinde. Thank you once again, chairperson and all speakers, for the absolutely brilliant session. And quickly, we are moving on to the next session. And enlightenment continues as we focus on Prime Minister's awarded
totally supported by a perfect subject-specific teachers were not available, and we were running short of
these indicators. That is our primary job. So if you take
Doing the honor of presenting bouquets of fresh flowers, a beautiful sight on stage. May I now request esteemed Additional Chief Secretary, General Administration and Public Grievances Department, Government of Odisha, Shri Surendra Kumar, to please officially deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, Secretary, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Shri V. Srinivas ji, DG, Indian Institute of Public Administration, Shri Surendranath Tripathi ji, Additional Secretary, DARP ji, Mr. Yadav, distinguished guests, award-winning officials, delegates from across the nation, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you to the National Conference on Good Governance Practices here in Bhubaneswar. Over the next 2 days, this forum will serve as a confluence of some of the brightest minds in public administration, distinguished practitioners, innovators, thought leaders, all united by a shared commitment to advancing the frontiers of governance in India. We are honored to have you us with it today, the presence of Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, whose visionary leadership in personnel, public grievances and pension reforms has shaped the agenda of governance at the national level. I extend a special welcome to Honorable Chief Minister Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, under whose stewardship Odisha continues to pioneer initiatives that place people at heart of administration. My special gratitude also goes to Shri V. Srinivas ji, Secretary DARPG, whose dedication to administrative reforms has been instrumental in the organization of this landmark event. Last but not the least, I also extend a heartfelt thanks to my ex-senior colleague, Shri Surendranath Tripathi, who has taught us so much with regard to administrative innovations, and I think he rightly deserves to be a part of this conference today. This conference is convened at a critical juncture as India accelerates its journey towards transformative growth, inclusion, responsive public service, and the likes. One of the main objectives of this gathering is to showcase and celebrate the success stories, those initiatives recognized with the Prime Minister's Excellence Awards that have delivered measurable improvements in the lives of citizens. This meeting of minds is designed to provide a platform for cross-learning amongst the district collectors, senior officials, and practitioners from across the states, facilitating the deep exchange of experience and new ideas. Aim to deliberate on administrative innovations and policy reforms and their role in achieving holistic development, with particular focus on aspirational block program and innovation in service delivery. I am positive that the deliberations will lead to catalyzing new partnerships and create a replicable blueprint for citizen-centric governance by leveraging technology, process re-engineering, and best administrative practices. With people being at the core of this entire exercise, our ultimate measure of success as public servants and administrators lies in the well-being and empowerment of the citizens that we serve. The discussions and outcomes of this conference are designed to have a direct, positive impact on the people of India by encouraging the adoption of proven models of efficient service delivery that reduce delays, improve transparency, and make government services more accessible. It also aims for promoting process re-engineering that minimizes bureaucratic hurdles and simplifies procedures, making it easier for ordinary citizens to benefit from the welfare schemes of essential services. Before we embark upon this complex journey of good governance, it is critical that we ground ourselves in the fundamentals of governance itself. Governance is more than administration. It is about creating robust institutions, enforcing the rule of law, ensuring accountability, and building enduring trust with the citizens. Unless the foundations are strong, clarity of law, transparency of process, integrity in execution, even the most well-intentioned schemes and reforms are at the risk of falling short. Therefore, it is extremely important that we first understand the fundamentals of administration before we move forward for achieving the next level of good governance. As we embark on this two-day journey, let us remember that our endeavor is not merely to celebrate administrative achievements, but to weave a web of knowledge, commitment, and innovation that will uplift millions. Let these deliberations spark new collaborations. Let us pledge ourselves to the principle that good governance is not a privilege, but the right of every citizen. On behalf of the State Government of Odisha, I once again welcome each and every one of you. May the conversation here sow the seeds of change that blossom into a new era of efficient, transparent, and compassionate governance across India. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bande Utkal Janani.
Thank you so much, sir, for those overwhelming words of welcome. May I now request esteemed Secretary, DRPG, Shri V. Srinivas, to please set the context and speak about the significance of platforms like this. Sir.
Honorable Chief Minister of the Government of Odisha, respected Shri Mohan Charan Manjhi ji, Honorable Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, respected Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, respected Cabinet Ministers of the Government of Odisha, Dr. S.N. Tripathi ji, the Director General, Indian Institute of Public Administration, Shri Surendra Kumar ji, the Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, my distinguished colleagues, Shri Puneet Yadav ji, Srimati Sarita Chauhan ji, Additional Chief Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, Secretaries of Government of Odisha, Prime Ministers, awardees, distinguished delegates to this conference across India, I extend a warm and hearty welcome to the Honorable Chief Minister of the Government of Odisha and to the Honorable Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions to the National Conference on Good Governance Practices at Bhubaneswar. I also extend a very warm welcome to my distinguished colleagues, Dr. S.N. Tripathi ji, Shri Puneet Yadav ji, and Shri Surendra Kumar ji, as also all the distinguished cabinet ministers who are attending this event today. This national conference has been curated around the Civil Services Day theme of holistic development of India through holistic development of districts and holistic development of blocks. The Honorable Prime Minister in his Civil Services Day address had said, holistic development of India is not just a theme. It is our commitment, our promise to the people of this country. It means that no village is left behind, no family is left behind, no citizen is left behind. The Honorable Prime Minister has called on the civil service for a sankalp, sahyog and kshamata, commitment, collaboration and capabilities so that India's tryst with the destiny of Viksit Bharat is achieved. This conference showcases the transformation in public governance in India, where young civil servants are thought leaders and innovators. Sir, in this conference we have district collectors from Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, from Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat, who are participating from across the country, and over 70 officers have come from across the country. And since morning we've heard many stories of commitment and community mobilization which have been presented in this conference. The theme, as I said, is holistic development of India, and the Prime Minister's award scheme has been curated so that the holistic development across 11 priority sector programs can be undertaken. Last year, 11 such schemes were identified and 1,588 nominations received from over 750 districts. And these nominations were assessed on qualitative, quantitative and governance criteria. There have been several success stories that you have seen. For example, in Rajkot district, as was presented, the case study of Shivbhai Rajivbhai Sindhu, which said that he has benefited by almost 3.05 lakhs across 11 programs. And 8 of the 11 priority sector programs have reached saturation. 120% has been achieved under the PM Suryaghar Bijli Yojana. Similarly, we have two districts of Tripura, Dhalai and also Gomati, which have presented. And sir, out of a population of 5.12 lakhs of Gomati district, the holistic development of India has covered a population of 2.15 lakhs under the PM Jan Arogya Yojana and almost 1 lakh households under Har Ghar Jal. The approach is to ensure that no individual is left behind. Similarly, the case study of Kupwara that was presented, 1.28 lakh beneficiaries of Har Ghar Jal and 5.05 lakh beneficiaries under PMJ. So, community mobilization by adopting 6-point strategies have been taken up. Similarly, under the aspirational block program, convergence, participatory planning, monthly ranking, as also data-driven monitoring have been implemented. So smart classes is something that we are witnessing across the aspirational blocks. We also have a number of innovations that are being presented, like the Uttarakhand UK GAMS, Assam's Shiksha Setu, Uttar Pradesh's Sugamya Pustakalaya, and Arunachal Pradesh's Digi Kaksha. We also have several district collectors of Odisha who will be speaking on the sideline as part of this conference, and their presentations by 7 district collectors would be made tomorrow. I will briefly show you how far we have progressed in terms of holistic development of India through a representation of maps scheme-wise. If you could just show the presentation, please. If you could go to the presentation, please. Sir, this was the Prime Minister's quote from the Civil Services Day on 21st April 2025, which said that holistic development of India is not just a theme, it is our commitment, our promise to the people of the country. No village left behind, no family left behind, no citizen left behind. Next, please. Sir, we have taken 11 schemes which will be going up for saturation for 2 years' time. Last year we had a different set of schemes, and once they were saturated, they were phased out. So out of the 350 centrally sponsored schemes and about 170 odd centrally sponsored schemes and 350 central sector schemes, these schemes have been identified. So Mission Indradhanush, as can be seen, has almost achieved saturation with almost 90% across most states. So in all likelihood, by next year, we would be achieving full saturation in terms of the immunization programs, the additional immunization programs. Next, please. In terms of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, there are states which have achieved 90%, but there is some areas where saturation is yet to be achieved. It is hoped that in the next 2 years' time, this scheme would also witness around 90% saturation. Next, please. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, this has progressed again at a rapid rate, and most states have reached around 75 to 80% in terms of achievement levels. Next, please. The Saksham Anganwadi, which is the portion 2.0, this is around 50 to 60% saturation. There is some work left, and it is hoped the inclusion of this scheme under the PM awards will take it and provide greater impetus through leadership of the district collectors. Next, please. The Kisan Credit Card Scheme for farmers, animal husbandry and fisheries. This is in a scheme that is under implementation, and 2 years of monitoring through the PM Award scheme will provide tremendous impetus for field implementation. Next, please. The PM Swanidhi scheme has grown rapidly across states, and implementation levels are between 50 to 70% on a pan-India basis. Next, please. The PM Vishwakarma scheme is again a scheme that has been rapidly expanding, and the Har Ghar Jal Yojana, next please, has also been rapidly growing across all states. Next please. The PM Surya Ghar Bijli Yojana has witnessed rapid progress in Gujarat, and Rajkot district's example was showcased, wherein which every house that is being built or every apartment building has a solar panel that is established with it, and it has brought tremendous transformation in terms of electricity availability. This is a scheme under implementation across many states. The PM Jan Arogya Yojana, next please. Next please. PM Matru Vandana Yojana, these are two schemes of the Health Ministry that are included in the PM Award Scheme 2025. Next please. The Aspirational Block Scheme has had tremendous impact on the lines of the Aspirational Districts program at micro level to bring field level transformation. Next please. The inclusion of these schemes integrated into one PM award ensures that the holistic development of India can be taken up on a timely manner. I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister of Government of Odisha for giving us time and for accepting our request to host this conference in Bhubaneswar. I would also like to thank Honorable Jitendra Singh Ji. This is his 29th regional conference that is being chaired and held under his leadership, and his vision and dynamism have imparted a new meaning to administrative reforms across India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughtful insights with us and reminding us the importance of good governance practices in nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji once said, India will shine through its villages, and today under the able leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we say this with immense pride that our villages are shining, our districts beaming with confidence. We are bringing changes to lives of millions of people, spreading smile through some of the best good governance practices. So coming up next is a very short audiovisual that will tell you more about the Prime Minister Award winning good governance practices for the year 2024. The AV, please.
जिसे देख कर देश संवरता है।
अब भारत को भरोसा है उन पर जो चूकते नहीं, जो थकते नहीं और जो हारते नहीं। जिन्हें साहस से परिणाम बदलना आता है। आज के देश को कल विकसित बनाना आता है। कोशिशों की तस्वीर में जीत का रंग भरने वाले ऐसे ही विजेताओं के विजय का उत्सव है प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स अवार्ड्स फॉर एक्सीलेंस इन पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन।
इस भरोसे का बहुत ठोस कारण है आज का भारत आने वाले 25 साल की इस 21वीं शताब्दी के लॉन्ग टर्म विजन को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक के बाद एक कदम उठा रहा है, व्यापक स्तर पर काम कर रहा है।
अब भारत को भरोसा है होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट के इन विजेताओं पर, जो सिर्फ मिसाल ही नहीं, हर अंधेरे को मिटाने वाली मशाल बने।
हम है वो आईना जिसे देख कर देश संवरता है।
हमने कभी जिंदगी में सोचा ही नहीं था हम ऐसे मकान में रह सकेंगे। अब हमारा भी एक पता है।
पीएम सूर्यघर मुफ्त बिजली योजना में सोलर लगाने के बाद एक तो लाइट का बिल खत्म हो गया है और ये फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए भी बहुत जरूरी है।
যেতিয়া মই PM চৌধুৰী লোনটো ললো, লোৱাৰ পিছত মই বস্তুখিনি ভাল বস্তু আনিছো, আপোনাৰ গ্ৰাহকবোৰ বহুত বাঢ়িছে।
अब भारत को भरोसा है तरक्की की नई पहुंच पर, नई उन्नति पर, नई ऊंचाइयों पर, जिसकी कहानी कह रहे हैं एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक्स प्रोग्राम के विजेता।
हम है वो रोशनी जिसे ओढ़ कर देश चमकता है।
हमारे स्कूल में जब से ICT लैब आया है तो हमें कंप्यूटर चलाना बहुत अच्छे से आ गया है और मैं अब ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन के सभी काम आराम से कर लेती हूँ।
ജലജീവൻ പദ്ധതി പ്രകാരം ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവർക്കും വെള്ളം ലഭിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരുടെ കാര്യം ഭംഗിയായി നടക്കുന്നു.
भारत को अब भरोसा है इनोवेशन पर, जिसकी आभा एक नई आशा को नया रूप देती है, जो संभावनाओं को हर सरहद से आजाद करती है, जिसके उदाहरण हैं हमारे विजेता।
हमारे जागने का हौसला है ये, हमारी जीत की मंजिल गिराया है।
पोषण ট্যাগারের মধ্যে আমাদের একটাই লক্ষ্য আছে, কোনো মা এবং শিশু যাতে ছুটে না যায়।
स्कीम के जरिए हमारा हुनर ही हमारा सहारा बन गया है।
শিক্ষা সেতু এপৰ দ্বাৰা ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলৰ শৈক্ষিক নথিপত্ৰসমূহ এতিয়া ডিজিটেলি সংৰক্ষণ কৰাটো বহুত সহজ হৈ পৰিছে।
वेल से संबंधित मेरी जो भी समस्या होती है मैं सुगम्य पुस्तकालय में आके अपनी समस्या का समाधान करती हूँ।
अब भारत को भरोसा है इसे विकसित बनाने को, इसकी मिट्टी से किए हमारे वादों पर कि हम वो बीज बोकर रहेंगे, हम वो पेड़ उगा कर रहेंगे कि जिसकी डाली पर बैठने सोने की चिड़िया लौट आएगी।
हम हैं पतवार जिसे थामे वो तूफान से लड़ता है। हम हैं वो रोशनी जिसे ओढ़ कर देश चमकता है। हम हैं वो आईना जिसे देख कर देश संवरता है।
I was expecting a louder round of applause for this absolutely inspiring audiovisual. I think the message is loud and clear. We have to take development to those who need it the most, and together we definitely can. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Red Letter Day, we are also releasing an e-journal on the theme Minimum Government, Maximum Governance. May I request Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, and Honorable Union Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh, to please do the honor of releasing this e-journal by pressing the button of the remote. Thank you. This e-journal will disseminate information and definitely instill a sense of inspiration for those who are working hard towards good governance practices. Ladies and gentlemen, as a physician, he has taught us to love fellow humans, have empathy. As a columnist, he has taught us to be brave and fearless. As an academician, he has taught us to be doing our share for nation building. And as a nationalist, he is teaching us every single day to keep nation above everything else. It's an absolute honor to have the presence of Honorable Union Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. May I request you, sir, to please share your words of wisdom with us.
Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi ji, at the outset I have to thank you. आपने अपना कीमती समय से कुछ पल हमारे लिए निकाले हैं, हमारा प्रोत्साहन भी हुआ, हौसला अफजाई भी हुई, और व्यक्तिगत तौर पर मुझे इस बात का भी संतोष है, हर्ष है कि आपके मुख्यमंत्री बनने के बाद पहली बार औपचारिक तौर पर आपके साथ कार्यक्रम करने का अवसर रहा है। all the honorable ministers from the state government, our colleague from the Department of Administrative Reforms, Public Grievances, Government of India, Mr. Srinivas, Director General, Indian Institute of Public Administration, and a very senior bureaucrat, Mr. S.N. Tripathi, Additional Chief Secretary, Surinder Ji, our another colleague from Delhi, Mr. Puneet Ahuja, and senior officers from the Government of India, Government of Odisha, representatives and delegates from different states and union territories drawn from across the country. Now, as Mr. Srinivas was telling you, this is possibly for the second time that we are in Odisha within just about 3 years. And I think it is important to understand the sentiment behind having these regional conferences. He is very good at maintaining statistics. So Mr. Srinivas said this is my 29th conference. But I think more important than that is that ever since independence, the number of governance conferences organized by this department has been just 41, out of which 29 have been held under Prime Minister Modi. Which means this is nearly more than twice of what was done in the early 60 years. So that also is a reflection of the tone, tenor, scale, speed with which the government headed by Prime Minister Modi is being run. And out of the 29, he is kind enough to give my score. I think 21 of them have been organized under him as secretary. And the other unique feature is that most of these conferences were earlier being held in the Vigyan Bhavan in the national capital. So it was our considered view that we have to pull out this entire exercise from the confines of Vigyan Bhavan. And I suggested to Mr. Srinivas, they want me to appear taller than Srinivas, so thank you. And I suggested to him, and he graciously accepted, that we would not go by random, we would go zone-wise. So if one conference is held in the north, second one in south, then in east, then west likewise. And they have had last 2 or 3 conferences in Maharashtra, in south, up there in north, and now they are back in the east. And east, I think Bhubaneswar had to be a natural choice because this is one of the most respected study centers in East India ever since the pre-independence times. And the other unique feature of the state of Odisha and particularly the city of Bhubaneswar, I know how much of you living over here realizes that it has a unique character of having adopted the latest cutting-edge technology while at the same time not giving up its ancient ethos and connection with the legacy which stands aloft in the time of Konark Temple. And I have been in and out of this, as the lady was kindly referring to my forays into academics and teaching. So I have been out and in of this city for the last several decades. And the first time I think I came here was just about 4 days after the super cyclone. That was the year 1999. And I was just now referring that to the Honorable Chief Minister. We had a huge conference over here. I was supposed to be one of the organizers. Everything went haywire. There were not many of hotels. And the delegates were also hesitant to come. We were left with only just about 5-6 days. So the other organizers asked me whether we should go ahead. I was not sure. So the senior most amongst us those days was Professor M.M.S. Ahuja. He's a nationally known name, no more among us now. Of course, one of the founder faculty at the AIIMS in New Delhi. And he was a hard task master, so nobody dared to speak to him. So they all pushed me to make a call to him and request him to get it postponed. तो जब मैंने फ़ोन किया तो प्रोफेसर साहब ने कहा कि मैं कहा सर सभी ऐसा ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि इसको हुआ, तो बोले जितेंद्र सिंह इस मुल्क का नाम क्या है? तो आई गॉट कंफ्यूज, आई थॉट आई हैड अनॉयड द ओल्ड मैन, तो मैं चुप रहा. बोले नहीं, मैंने पूछा इस मुल्क का नाम क्या है, तुम्हें आता है कि नहीं? मैं कहा बोले इस मुल्क का नाम है हिंदुस्तान. यहाँ एक दिन तूफान आता है, दूसरे दिन अकाल पड़ता है, तीसरे दिन बाढ़ आती है, चौथे दिन साइक्लोन आता है, और साथ साथ जिंदगी चलती है. सो वी हैव टू गो अहेड, एंड आई थिंक वी वर द फर्स्ट पोस्ट साइक्लोन डूइंग दैट एकेडमिक एक्टिविटी इन दिस सिटी. डेलीगेट हमारे पास 136 ही आए, क्योंकि बहुत कम अटेंडेंस हो पाई थी, बट वी वेंट अहेड. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ academic attraction that this city of Bhubaneswar enjoys. Now, as far as the Modi reforms are concerned, of which we are over here to discuss for the next 2 days, I think broadly speaking, they have impacted at 4 levels. A, of course, they are indeed very revolutionary reforms, which have created a revolutionary transformation in governance, as Prime Minister says, perform, reform and transform. So they have actually lived up to that mantra. And it's surprising that these should have been brought in soon after the midnight of independence, but they took 60, 70 years before Prime Minister Modi took over. The second impact is, if we realize deeply, these are no longer confined only to governance. They have a huge, huge socio-economic impact. And each of these slides which are being shown, Mr. Srinivas, apparently they seem to be governance reforms. But intrinsically they have a socio-economic transformation impact. Like, for example, immediately after this government came in, they issued the orders that no longer will the youth be asked to get their certificates attested by a gazetted officer. And sent out a huge, huge social message. Look at now, this is a government which has the capacity to trust the youth of this country. Then there was evolution of interview, which provided a level playing field, so it's a kind of a democratization of job opportunities. So on and so forth, even in many of the departments headed by Mr. Srinivasan, like for example, pensions, you created the provision of divorced daughters or the separated daughters also being claimants to their parents' family pension, even if they don't have a judgment from the court. Then so many so. So these are not only governance reforms. In fact, these were the reforms waiting to happen because of the changing social milieu that we live in. And the social evolution or the society's evolution or the societal evolution is a dynamic process. So they have lived up to that. Thirdly, these reforms have changed the mindset of an average or a common Indian. Your entire way of looking at things is different. You have huge amount of self-esteem, confidence, and you think you can also do it if someone else can do it, which is reflected in the manner now we have the civil services results. Year after year you have girl toppers, and that too from places which were never known to make it to the civil services list, or from the colleges which were not included in that elite list of colleges that we usually are referred to in this country. And fourthly, and that is, I think, a matter of pride for the department also, some of the reforms introduced through this department have created global models. One of them is the CP grams, which we may be talking about, and I'll refer to the grievance model. Yes, you can clap because there's no complaint against clapping. So rather they'll be aggrieved if they don't clap. So secondly, the digital life certificate. So these are some of the models to study which we are now receiving officers from different countries, and they have received wide reputation across the country. The basis of all these reforms has been citizen first, as is also part of the theme of this two-day event. And when we say citizen first, usually it sounds like a good sermon, a very, academically idealistic phrase. But if you ask somebody how to spell it, how to translate it on the ground, it becomes difficult to explain. So I think the easiest, simple way is another global success story which has emanated from this government is the Swamitva program, which is again technology driven, because all these reforms have been technology driven. You use the space technology, you use the drones, and you can map your farm, you can map your land. You have put Patwari out of job. अभी हमारे यहाँ मंत्री भी बैठे हैं, मुख्यमंत्री जी बैठे हैं, और जो हम सार्वजनिक जीवन से जुड़े हैं, हमारे कई बार अनुभव हुआ कि पटवारी की अगर आप प्रमोशन कर देते तो ये सिफारिश लेके आता कि साहब मुझे पटवारी ही रहने दीजिए, मुझे सिफारिश नहीं करनी. सो ओवर द इयर्स इट वाज द मोस्ट कवेटेड जॉब. पटवारी से हटना ही नहीं चाहता था वो. सडनली ओवरनाइट यू हैव पुट हिम आउट ऑफ जॉब बिकॉज you have made citizen master of his destiny. तो ये एक साधारण उदाहरण है citizen first. और ऐसे ही चलते गए तो citizen first will be also replacing many of the functions of the collector himself. Another success story is RuPay is another success story. और कल ही रिपोर्ट आई है UPI की. UPI has overtaken Visa card. Visa was for the international travelers was the favored card. But now it's been taken over by the Indian option because they find some of the enabling provisions in it which they find more handy and more useful. इसी 10-11 साल का one more feature is, which is unique because all these reforms could have been possible only because unlike the earlier governments, this government did not follow the status quoist approach. आमतौर से सचिव का भी स्वभाव रहता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा क्रांतिकारी फैसले लेने का क्या फ़ायदा, कल को ट्रांसफ़र हो जाएगी. और मंत्री के दिल में भी दुविधा है कि उसने तो हर 5 साल के बाद इम्तहान पास करना है. तो कहते हैं कि साहब जैसा चला और जैसे पिछले ने किया वही करो. उनके गुण अवगुण ही अपना करके गाड़ी आगे चलती रहे. But this was possible because Modi himself followed that approach and encouraged others to approach, to break the taboos of the past, to take out-of-box decisions. There have been at least 1,500 to 1,600 rules which have been done away with by this government. Usually, the governments take pride in bringing in new rules. जब कोई पद से हट जाता है या कोई रिटायरमेंट के बाद अधिकारी या कोई पूर्व मंत्री, वो अपने नाते नातियों को बोर करने के लिए यही कहानियाँ सुनाते हैं. मेरे ज़माने में मैंने ये किया था, चाहे वो सुनने वाले दिलचस्पी रखता हो कि ना हो. मैंने ये कानून लाया था, मैंने ये कहा. तो मैं इनसे कह रहा था कि आप क्या सुनाएंगे, आपको ये सुनाना होगा कि मैंने ये कानून हटाया था. मैंने सेपरेटेड डॉटर्स के लिए जो कानून बना था उसको हटा दिया. मैंने बच्चों को जो अटेस्टेशन का कानून था वो हटा दिया. सो आई थिंक दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम अ गवर्नमेंट विल टेक प्राइड इन रिफ्लेक्टिंग ऑन दी. और रूल्स भी विच वर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश लेगेसी. एक हमारा कानून था जिसमें अगर सुबह टॉयलेट साफ ना किया गया हो तो आप उसको नज़रबंद कर सकते हैं इंटरनेट को. अब उस समय उसका औचित्य रहा होगा, आज से 200 साल पहले जब से अंग्रेज सरकार ने यहाँ स्थापित हुई. यहीं से शुरू हुआ था, कलकत्ते से, ईस्ट इंडिया से ही, क्योंकि उस समय सैनिटरी प्रोविजंस नहीं रहा करती थी. टॉयलेट्स और रसोई घर आमतौर से मेन बिल्डिंग से थोड़ी दूरी पे रखा जाता था, और यदि वो सफाई सही समय पे ना हो तो एक न्यूसेंस बन जाता था. तो उस समय का कानून आज भी चल रहा था. और इसलिए एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई ऑल्सो हैव टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट मिस्टर श्रीनिवास. इस सारे जो काम हुए इनके कारण इनके विभाग को भी एक प्रमुखता से सामने आने का मौका मिला. The DRPG, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, was one of the lesser known departments in Government of India. Today it has become one of the most visible departments. And it's a nodal department for so many governance reforms. And by virtue of this circular governance conferences across the country, he's become one of the most familiar central government bureaucrats across the states. और ये जो इन्होंने मॉडल तैयार किए डिजिटल लाइफ और सीपी ग्राम इत्यादि, और बाहर से आकर के अधिकारी इनसे शिक्षण प्रशिक्षण लेने लगे, तो इन्होंने उसका हर्जाना कैसे वसूल किया, उसका वोट हासिल करके ये प्रेसिडेंट बन गए इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विसेज के. क्योंकि जब भी कोई नया बैच आता है तो कहते हैं साहब आपको 2 सप्ताह में सिखा तो दूंगा लेकिन वोट मुझे डालना. और ये करते करते आई हैव टू कंग्रेचुलेट हिम. Just about last week, in a very tough contest, he was elected as the president of this prestigious body of bureaucrats drawn from across the world. इसके अतिरिक्त they have also been able to come out with some innovative experiments which are worth emulating not only by the other ministries but also by the state governments. Like for example, 4 साल से ये विभाग स्वच्छता अभियान चला रहा है. It's a dedicated campaign during the month of October. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 4 साल में इन्होंने स्वच्छता तो की, लेकिन भारत सरकार में 1162 करोड़ रुपया जमा करवा के दिया. And that is mostly by disposing of electronic, the electronic articles which had been thrown away with or done away with. क्योंकि दफ्तरों में अक्सर स्वभाव होता है कि अगर माउस खराब हो जाए तो आप ज़ोर से धमका देते हैं अटेंडेंट को, तो जाता है डरता डरता जाके नया कंप्यूटर रख देता है और कोई बाद में इस बात का पता नहीं लेता कि वो गया कहाँ गैजेट. तो इतना सारा जंक इकट्ठा हुआ था जिसको इन्होंने मार्केट में फ़रोख्त किया जहाँ पर के असेंबलिंग होती है. सो जस्ट बाई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्क्रैप they have also proved, and again this is a social reform, कि बहुत सारे लोगों को ये मालूम नहीं था. We had a group of ladies who came to ask us कि साहब हमें बताइए कहाँ बिकता है, हमारे घरों में तो इतने सारे मोबाइल पड़े हुए बच्चे फेंक देते हैं. So which is also in keeping with making wealth out of waste and giving cues to the rest of the society. बाकी डिजी लॉकर, उमंग, PM अवार्ड जो इन्होंने दिखाया, we have changed the entire format. Earlier it used to be individualized, now it's flagship driven. So the outcome is twofold. A, that all the collectors virtually are now competing for it because they have to prove their performance. And secondly, most of the flagship programs which get included, they get a boost. जैसे उनका PM आवास योजना को इसमें include किया, तो suddenly we had 4 crore houses built. And therefore, in the end, I would just finally conclude saying that we have much achieved, and the aspiration जो इन्होंने कहा, of course that was also idea from this department, प्रशासन गांव की ओर, from aspirational districts going down to the aspirational blocks, then down up to the panchayats. We hope to do so. Only in yesterday's cabinet meeting, another feature has been added to it, 100 aspirational districts across the country where agricultural parameters will be raised in the same pattern as was in the case of the aspirational districts. And now I think if you draw the comparison with the earlier 10 years of the UPA government, the huge difference is so huge, so large that it does not even require worth comparison. And now is the time for concentrating, focusing on planning a roadmap for Viksit Bharat 2047, which also has been started. They have started preparing a document on Viksit Bharat. And for that, this conference of this nature is highly relevant. Because as Prime Minister keeps saying that each and every citizen ought to contribute depending his or her capacity or capabilities, if at all we look forward to achieve the optimum results. So there we need the cooperation of the state governments, the UTs, also healthy exchange of practices, even coupling of states could be done states having similar issues, similar problems could actually be aligned with the other 1 or 2 states so that they can have a permanent working relationship, even informally. They could reach out to each other. And also, I would suggest that from now on, we could also have this aspirational pattern, competitive development of these states pattern. So I will suggest to Mr. Srinivasa, we could have a pattern depending on parameters, like we have 41 parameters, especially we could have parameters of governance. Already they are producing governance index for the districts, for the states. They are rating them also. We could make them more precise so that then we would know where my state stands and where do I need to reach. And there actually the role of all these senior officers who have gathered here from different states would come handy, so that, and particularly the young officers, because the experience has been that the aspirational districts which did the best had the collectors who were newly recruited. Many of them had been assistant secretaries with us, which is also a new experiment started by this government. So we can post some young collectors, because they will also have the urge to see their state or district rising to that level in 2047, because they are going to be around there, unlike many others. So they could be asked to lay down a map which could carry on along with their lifespan. So if we could do that, I think we would have served this purpose. Thank you very much for all the cooperation from the state government. We hope to be back again soon.
Thank you very much, sir. These strong words will remind us, inspire us to work hard, put better efforts to build a strong Bharat at the grassroots. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, his strong values, impeccable leadership, out-of-the-box approach, pro-people policies have made people come closer to the government within a very short span of time. In Odisha, we say this with immense pride, that development is reaching beneficiaries without blockages, barricades, bottlenecks. And the biggest share of credit for that goes to our Honorable Chief Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I request Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, to address the House. Sir.
Jai Jagannath, Honorable Union Minister of State, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Science and Technology, Atomic Energy, Earth Science and Space, Minister of State in PMO, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Ministers of Government of Odisha, Secretary, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Government of India, Sri V. Srinivas, Additional Chief Secretary, Sri Surendra Kumar, DG, Indian Institute of Public Administration, Sri Surendranath Tripathi, Additional Secretary, DRGPG, Sri Puneet Yadav, distinguished guests, senior officers, eminent leaders, prominent innovators, ladies and gentlemen, and media friends. Namaskar. A very warm welcome to all of you to the sacred land of Lord Sri Jagannath. It is both an honor and a privilege for us to host the prestigious National Conference on Good Governance Practices here in Bhubaneswar, the temple city, a symbol of Odisha's evolving journey from tradition to transformation. Let me begin by extending my sincere gratitude to Honorable Union Minister of State Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, whose visionary leadership in the spheres of governance, technology, and personal management continue to inspire public administration across the country. We are indeed privileged by your gracious presence. This two-day conference is not just an exchange of policies and models. It is a reaffirmation of our shared belief that governance must be people-centric, technology-enabled, and future-ready. We believe that good governance is not the prerogative of a few, it is the right of every citizen and the duty of every public servant. Each state has charted its own governance innovations, and when we come together on platforms such as this, we do not merely showcase achievements, we build a shared knowledge infrastructure for a stronger and development India. I would like to share that Odisha has embarked on a path of transformation through empowerment. From disaster resilience to inclusive development, from citizen-centric services to data-driven administration, we have redefined how governance interacts with the people. Odisha has demonstrated a consistent commitment to learning, adoption, and improvement. Honorable Minister, I commend the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances and your ministry for institutionalizing this conference as a mechanism of cooperative federalism. Your initiative ensures that best practices are not confined to one region or department, but are replicated, adopted, and improved upon nationwide. As we discuss critical areas such as historical development of districts, digital governance, public grievances redressal, service delivery, performance benchmarking, and the role of artificial intelligence in administration, let us approach this with humility, openness, and a spirit of collaboration. Odisha is steadily moving towards paperless governance. Our annual budget presentation is now entirely paperless. For internal government communication, we have implemented OSWAS, Odisha Secretariat Workflow Automation System, a fully automated system that has significantly reduced response times through digital signatures for nothings, comments, and approvals. This has made the governance more responsive and transparent. As part of this initiative, most of the citizen services are now available online. Basic services such as obtaining birth or death certificates, residential certificates, benefits from various schemes are just a click away on mobile devices. Our grievance redressal mechanism is nothing short of revolutionary. In addition to personally addressing people's grievance as often as possible, we have an own platform for automated grievances redressal that highly effective. As part of our governance reforms, we have embraced the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji to transform government officials and shift India from rule-based to rule-based governance. We are empowering civil servants by transforming them from Karmachari to Karmajogi. To enhance transparency in governance, we have introduced a work passbook system. Under this initiative, every upcoming infrastructure project will be documented with details such as budget estimation, timelines and progress. It will enable state level oversight, advanced analytics and public access to information, fostering greater transparency. Odisha is proud to contribute to this collective journey, not just as a host, but as a committed stakeholders in India's administrative evolution. We must have from bureaucracy to responsiveness, from files to data, and from compliance to outcomes. India's civil services must become mission-driven, youth-inclusive, innovation-friendly, and above all, citizen-centric. Conferences like this provide an opportunity to shape that narrative. As we begin this important dialogue, let us remember that the ultimate test of governance is its impact on the life of the common citizen, how easily they access services, how quickly grievances are redressed, how transparently the government functions, and how inclusively their dreams are supported. Once again, I welcome you all to Odisha, a state that cherishes its heritage and culture while pursuing a world vision as we approach the centenary of our statehood in the year 2036. I am confident that this two-day national conference will be a rich and transformative experience for all participants, offering valuable insights, meaningful exchanges, and actionable ideas to strengthen governance across the nation. Let this conference be a milestone in our journey towards to new India that is efficient, equitable, and empathetic, an important step towards India realizing Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Jagannath.
Thank you very much, sir. These powerful words will unite us all in the mission to build a stronger, brighter Odisha through good governance practices. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Government of Odisha, we have a small token of gratitude for Honorable Union Minister of State. May I request Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, to please present this wonderful gift to Honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. This is beautiful silver filigree that Odisha is known across the world for. We also have a GI tag, and the Akriti is of sailing ship that represents the maritime tradition of Odisha, and also that we are sailing the same ship to build a great nation together. Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for your presence, for those words of wisdom. And on behalf of DARPG, they also have a special gift for the host team for being the befitting host. So may I request Honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji to present this token of love to Honorable Chief Minister Shri Mohan Charan Majhi. Such love and acknowledgement feels absolutely overwhelming. This is a beautiful artwork from Rajasthan, dedicated to the artisans of the country. Thank you so much, sir, for this love and acknowledgement. And with that happy note, may I request Additional Secretary, DARPG, Shri Puneet Yadav Ji, to please propose vote of thanks. Sir.
Thank you. Respected Shri Mohan Charan Majhi Ji, Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Odisha. Respected Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Government of India. Respected Ministers of the State Government of Odisha joining us today. Shri V. Srinivas, Secretary DRPG, Government of India. Shri Surendra Kumar Ji, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha. Shri S. N. Tripathi, DG IIPA, dignitaries in the hall, distinguished PMA awardees of 2023 and 2024, speakers, guests, delegates of the conference, and ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this inaugural session of this National Conference on Good Governance Practice being held in the historic, progressive, and vibrant city of Bhubaneswar. On this occasion, I extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State Personnel, for gracing the conference. As we all know, Sir has been at the forefront of DRPG's administrative reforms and good governance initiatives like CP grams, Swachhata campaigns, e-governance, and PM awards for excellence in public administration. Sir, your gracious presence and inauguration of the conference has added immense value to this event, and your words have infused purpose and direction. I also extend my deepest gratitude to Shri Mohan Charan Manjhi Ji, Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Odisha, for gracing the conference and sharing his valuable inputs and thoughts. The commitment of Government of Odisha for adoption and dissemination of good governance practices is reflected in this conference being held in Bhubaneswar today. Sir, we look forward to hearing the Odisha success stories during this conference. I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Shri V. Srinivas Ji, Secretary DRPG, for his valuable guidance and leadership in conceptualizing this conference and driving the agenda of good governance through his untiring efforts. I also convey my sincere gratitude to Shri Surendra Kumar Ji, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, for his wholehearted support in co-hosting this conference and for the warm hospitality extended to all the delegates. I also thank all the dignitaries, including Shri S.N. Tripathi Ji, DG IIPA, my colleagues Shri N.B.S. Rajkot, Principal Secretary, Government of Odisha, and Srimati Sarita Chauhan, Joint Secretary, DRPG, and the Additional Chief Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, and Secretaries from states and UTs across the country who are attending this conference. A special word of appreciation and thanks to all the PMA awardees from the years 2023 and 2024 who are presenting their transformative initiatives in this conference. I also thank all the officers and delegates from various states and union territories who have joined us here in Bhubaneswar. We look forward to your participation, engagement, and listening to your unique governance experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is not just not an event, but also an excellent opportunity for continuous learning, recognizing innovation, and sharing and spreading of best practices. Last but not the least, our friends from media who are witness to this spectacular conference, a word of thanks and appreciation to them. Thank you all once again for your presence and best wishes for learning and sharing experience during the next 2 days. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Now, there is a request that all the speakers and PMA awardees may kindly come forward. There will be a group photograph along with the dignitaries, Honorable CM of Odisha and Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji.
Thank you so much, Yadav. With this, we wind up the inaugural session. Namaskar, Jai Hind, Vande Utkal Janani. Everyone is invited for lunch. For delegates, the lunch has been arranged on the first floor, and for the officials, it's at the cafeteria to your left side of this convention hall. Thank you. We would like to cherish the memories of this day. So bringing all the speakers and special guests together for an official group photograph with the Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Union Minister, and all dignitaries. And this photo will be etched in our memories forever. Can we have a round of applause for the conference, the success of it, and the speakers and guests who are together to share their thoughts and experiences.